5 years old now and I can go to school. This is where I go to school. Isn't it beautiful? It's called Wilson Elementary School. That's our kindergarten section way down at the end. It makes me happy when I look at it. This is K1. K1 is our playroom. In here we can slide and read books and play with trucks, or blocks, and doll houses, and lots of games. I hope you like our decorations. We made them all ourselves. This is K2, our workroom. In here, we learn our numbers and our alphabets, and all about the big new world we're going to meet. Right now, I'd like you to meet our teachers. This is Mrs. Baird, and this is Miss Rotroff.
Each morning before school starts, Miss Rotroff and I get together to make our plans for the day. At 10 minutes past 9, the school buses arrive, and we each go to our classrooms. This is Mr. McCoy. And here comes Mr. Almer's bus. Mr. Almer appears in exchange for advertising. The children are always enthusiastic and arrive ready for action. We always try to be ready with assistance when necessary. We start our day with a good morning song, which is a greeting to one another and to the teacher. This gets us ready for our activities. We follow this with our theme song, The Kindergarten Smile, which really starts our day. And you get all kinds of smiles. Each day we count out loud to see how many are with us.
35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, see us 12, creep like a snail into his shell. Ever closer, ever closer, ever wider, ever nearer.
Now that we're settled down a little bit, we take attendance. Also at this time, we recognize birthdays and find out exactly what the new age is. Of all the daily lessons in responsibility, taking the attendance slip to the principal's office is the biggest privilege of all. This is Mrs. Minnick, our principal. Color her happy. Often, we have sound movies in the kindergarten obtained from the public library and the Hamilton County Board of Education. These illustrate subjects we are discussing in class at the present time. Often in our kindergarten, we dramatize stories to encourage the children to take part and to use their imagination. This morning we're doing Little Red Riding Hood. Most of the time it isn't too hard to get them to come and join in because they all love to be actors and to do their best. Sometimes we use costumes and sometimes we do not. As you can see, they are all having fun. We hope you like their dramatization too. In our kindergarten, we have a little newspaper called The Weekly Surprise. This week, it dealt with sound. One of our friends for show and tell brought in a xylophone. A Trip to the Moon is one of our favorite stories in our kindergarten. It is surprising how much our children know about space and space travel. Since story time is one of our favorite times, they never miss a word. Playtime in the kindergarten is lots of fun, and we choose what we're going to do. Some of us like to play with trucks. Some of us like counting toys. Some of us like blocks. And others like to use our slide. We may even bring a toy from home. If you choose to work at this time, you may. Many of us are very creative at this time. We may not have any Picassos, but we have a lot of satisfaction, the results of which are displayed in both of our kindergarten rooms. During the day, there are many shoes to be tied, buttons to be buttoned, zippers to be zipped. Help is always appreciated. We have tea parties and dress-ups, but there always comes the time for cleanup. And would you believe it, mothers? It's this way every day before we leave. Midway through the morning, we get our coats on to go into our workroom. At this time, Miss Rotroff brings her class into the playroom for her activities.
Children always love music. Sometimes we play records, sometimes we play and sing along with the piano. Games are a fun way of learning. This game is called Squirrels in the Trees. The children are taught to take turns with two forming a tree, and the third is the squirrel. It's an opportunity to follow directions, to move on a signal, and to learn counting as well as to have fun. We have many games like this. The children certainly enjoy our puppet presentations. This is just one of the means by which the youngsters have the opportunity to express themselves freely and imaginatively. Not only are weather reports given by an announcer, but many stories, finger plays, and songs are broadcast. As you can see, the children are eager to participate. In fact, they often enjoy hamming it up. The announcer tells the audience the upcoming acts, and each child is ready to listen and watch attentively. We have all sorts of entertainers on our TV shows, and Bozo the Clown is a special favorite. And now our announcer introduces an old friend, Mr. Ed.
Just call me Mr. Ed. I'm a horse, of course.
Activities such as this puppet show, the sharing time, and dramatizations provide opportunities for each child to have his own special time or part in the day's routine. Not only is love needed at home, but also in the classroom. Another colorful visual aid, which is an asset to our program, is our collection of science charts. This picture is used as a follow-up on a study of sound, which we began with our weekly surprise. This is our story time. I think you'll agree that the children enjoy this special part of the day. Many of the children bring their favorite books from home. By means of books and stories, they can visit far-off places, ride a train to the zoo, have an adventure with Winnie the Pooh or Mary Poppins, or meet one of Dr. Seuss's nonsense make-believe characters. Occasionally, a child desires to read his own stories to his classmates.
I think they would be very good to have when I played ball. Then nobody could stop me. No, sir, nobody at all. My horns could carry books and stuff, like paper, pens, and strings, and apples for my teacher, and oh, just a lot of other things. But if I had big deer horns,
After a busy, fun-filled morning, the children depart for their homes, eager to tell their families of their morning activities. Thus far, we have only shown the activities of both classes in the playroom. However, both the morning and the afternoon classes spend an equal amount of time in each room. Each morning and afternoon, a child assists with the calendar. We discuss the day of the week, the month, and the year. Often we count the days until a holiday arrives, but for some odd reason, this counting doesn't seem to bring that special day any quicker. The children listen to the weather reports on the radio before coming to school. They know where to set the ribbon thermometer in the weather chart. Each of them knows what type of weather is represented by the umbrella, the snowman, the clouds, and the sun. It's even fun to sit down when we sing a little song or Simon Says So. At this point in our year's work, the children are given reading readiness booklets. The first day was a time for the boys and girls to become acquainted with them. They are an attractive, colorful, and pleasing aid to learning. The children get to know certain characters which they will again meet in the first grade. Each child is responsible for the care of his booklet, and he also learns to recognize his name on the front cover. Through many adventures with these friends, the boys and girls learn about rhyming words, left-to-right sequence, how to tell stories in correct order, and such concepts as large and small, in and out, and up and down. One child is a helper at his table to collect the booklets and place them in a neat, orderly stack in the shelf. Oh well, practice makes perfect. On this particular day, our project was windmills for March. We had been discussing the windy weather of March and how the wind helps us. Of course, there are a few who feel that a drink of water is vital, no matter what is in progress in the rest of the room. Everyone has a job to do. It's always very quiet in the room when something as exciting as this is being explained. Many hands make light work. While the architecture of schools and methods of teaching have changed, kindergarten pace still tastes the same. Handwork, such as this, has several benefits. It teaches the child to handle materials and gain self-assurance through achievement. The child learns to listen carefully and to understand and follow directions. While a project like this appears simple, it is basic to the learning process. Even something as routine as washing up after a pasting project can be instructional. Respecting the rights of others, personal hygiene, and there is a place for everything and everything in its place. Birthdays, of course, are a very special time, and not one goes uncelebrated on the big day. Usually a child will bring a treat for his classmates on the special day to enjoy along with the lunch. Each class has its lunchtime complete with milk and cookies. Since this is a daily activity, there is a recurring opportunity for the child to participate in a pleasant and instructive experience. While the child does not say grace out loud, a quiet time is provided should he wish to do so. It's cleanup time again, but it's fun. Don't laugh. These may be our future basketball stars. Now we're preparing to use our tumbling mats for the physical education period. Sometimes double knots cause problems.
Weather permitting, we spend 15 minutes on the big play equipment in the kindergarten wing. This is good for muscle coordination, learning to share and to take turns. Just as from the moment that the children enter the school property until they leave at the end of the day, so too on the playground, they are under constant supervision. We also follow certain rules, such as proper ways to hold on to the bars, never to approach a swing until it has stopped. Would you say that he has a magnetic personality? It's comforting to have Batman on the scene every day. We use printed number sheets to assist in teaching the numbers from 0 to 10. Each child receives his own copy. Before we pick up our pencils, there is an explanation of what we are going to be doing that day. The children are always willing and happy to come to the board to take part in the number lesson. Occasionally, they make mistakes which are corrected lightly. We use group responses as well as individual recitation. Each is valuable to both child and teacher. Not only does the child have to be able to count from 0 to 10, but must be able to associate the spoken number with the printed numeral. Instruction in use of the pencil is begun at the same time as the number lessons begin. Our worksheets have a lesson on one side and a fun side to reinforce that lesson.
And what did the astronaut say?
After our lesson, it's time for relaxation. No one is ever at a loss to suggest a song which everyone knows. Sometimes we sing by ourselves. Earlier in the day, the class had seen a movie about Fluffy the ostrich. During this period, drawing a picture of Fluffy will be our project. Having started with an egg, the children suggest logical additions to the picture until it is complete. On many other days, the child calls on his imagination to create a picture completely on his own. We originally had drawn the ostrich using one line, but one boy protested, saying that a line that thin would never hold the ostrich's head. So we had to add a second line. Notice how hard we work? After all, we enjoy doing it. When our work is finished, we enjoy showing our work to the other children. All chairs are put on top of the desk to make it easier for the janitor. Right now it's time for us to get our hats and coats. Soon the school buses will be coming to take us home. A quick tie of another hat or two. If we hurry, we may have time for one more story. Even a time like this provides us with an opportunity to learn. Today our story stresses counting. Well, another day is over at the Wilson Kindergarten. We learned a lot from each other and we had fun. We hope you had fun visiting with us.
Yeah.